Welcome acolytes. Today I am reacting to a video that I didn't see it, that's why the reactions with me always random without seeing it beforehand, because well, that's what a good reaction in my opinion should be. But right now I am actually reacting to a video from Arch, specifically from his second channel, the Archcast, and the guy, for those who don't actually know, is actually a Warhammer 40k story guy that's politically active. Now normally I am not a fan of politically active YouTubers because, well, I just want to have my fun and see that, but at the end he does a really good job. He has this dry humor that I actually quite like, so that's why I actually quite prefer it for him specifically. So why am I actually reacting to this video? Because the guy, something happened in Helldivers. Helldivers, by the way, one of the freaking coolest games you can play right now. Now, why is it? It's just fun. That's all. It's just fun. This game is just fun. And it has just this fun component to it, regardless of anything. It's just the thing that it is. And this is something that's extremely rare right now, especially these days. And at the end of the day, I'm actually quite happy that a game developer, any game developer, actually finally did something and just said, fuck anything else, we're just gonna have fun with our game. Our game is specifically for having fun, and that's all there is. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful. I love it. It's actually something that I wish would be way more often, way more way more often there than it actually is. Because, in my opinion, politics in games, except that they are the politics in games, like in politics, just not every game, like most games, just aren't made for it. And that's why a game like this actually proves it. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your politics as long as you can actually have stuff like that. So at the end of the day, we're gonna see what he has to do, and I love Helldivers 2. It's just beautiful. It's just a really, really nice, freaking awesome game. So let's see what he has to say about it, and let's just, I would say, start.
Rather fascinating is going on in the Helldivers 2 community. By now, I'm sure you are aware that Helldivers 2 has become ridiculously popular. Absurdly so. And as with anything in the modern day world, whenever something becomes popular, people begin to flock to it in an effort to try and subvert it to their own goals, which is what we're seeing happening here. Helldivers alerts.
Oh yeah, and by the way, yeah, he's correct about it. And Helldivers 2, none of it. I mean, I am sure there are some things that I don't see, you don't see, nobody sees, some niche things, but right now, I don't see anything. I don't see that the Helldivers community or the Helldivers devs actually go on one or the other side. And that's beautiful. That's just freaking awesome. I love it. I really love it.
You might at first glance be tempted to think this is an official account saying, friendly reminder, don't be a fascist. Oh really now?
No.
Oh, that's an interesting take, particularly from a game that so obviously satirizes it, but oh well. And
Yep, it satirizes everything. if you look at Helldivers 2 and see the entire thing, it's just so over the top that you won't even take it serious at the end of the day. And if you do, get a life.
You should not be genuinely reciprocating approval of conquest, genocide, and violence. Well, actually, if you are in a war where all the sides are attempting to conquer and genocide one another with violence, then yes, responding with those exact same things is 1000% legit. To quote another handsome lad with a massive forehead in another very, very relevant movie, we are in it for the species, boys and girls. But, of course, this is not an official account. This is the official account, Helldivers 2. It has the exact same logo, as you will see. It's got much the same name as well, only adding alert, and it doesn't do a whole lot to make it clear that it's a so-called fan account. Because this is, of course, about clout, as there is one position in particular that is so very interested with seeing fascists on every single street corner, in every single game, etc. The Antifa, far-left political crowd. Now, normally, you would think that the no politics in games approach would be the correct one. However, this is where we get to the interesting part. I was banned from the Discord for what I'm about to say, but I do not...
By the way, sorry about that. Still sick again. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm getting sick all the time. Never had that problem. Right now it's like in the last fucking 4 months, the 4th time in a row.
Think it is controversial. I would like this game to remain politically neutral. Someone in Discord suggested LGBTQ skins, and my response was to keep homosexual politics out of the game. Alright, fair enough. In fact, this seems like an actual legit problem because there have been plenty of demands on the Steam forums of just this. I have found dozens of threads like this, but this is where it gets really funny. You may notice the strange stripes in the background, indicating that all of these have been locked. Well, there was another post like this. Friend got banned for asking to add one LGBTQ cape. They seem to legitimately be banning both sides of this political discourse.
Good. Very, very, very good. I am freaking happy about that. That's how it should be. It's a game, not your fucking political opinion maker. It's just that simple.
In other words, they are actually saying...
I'm gonna say, it's for fun. It's for fun. Nothing else.
No politics in this game. They are actually keeping the politics out of the video game, regardless of the political position. Now, of course, being on the more central right-wing side of things, I do believe that this is something that needs to be said. I do believe that most companies require this call-out for them to even begin to think about the fact that the doctrinal philosophy that they've been infiltrated with is going to damage their product. But it seems as if the developers of Helldivers have actually realized that no, we can't have the political discussion. We are not a forum for the political discussion. We are a fucking video game about killing robots and bugs. We don't need this here. We are not the correct avenue or the venue. Stop, both of you, and I am 1000% in favor of this. Obviously, the retarded counter-argument of the leftist is, don't you realize the game is political?
Of course it's political. You know how it's political? It's a freaking kill the bugs thing. It's fun political, not this effed up. We have to be just racist against one specific group, or you're all fascist. It's just fun. It's funny political. That's fine.
You make political jokes in the game. You must be open to be a political battleground. No, not at all. You can have a game that has political themes. You can even have a game that has overt in-universe politics is it. You can even have a game that makes overt political declarations in it, as well as the game definitely does make fun of quite a few authoritarian philosophies, and still not make it a correct area for political discourse, which is exactly what they are currently trying to do. Will there be transplant capes? Locked thread. Trans LGBTQIA plus representation in-game? Locked thread. No LGBTQ plus representation in-game? Seriously? Locked thread. This is the correct way of dealing with this. You do not bow down to either side.
And I agree 100% with it. This is how you should deal with it. It's that simple. The people that are playing this game aren't playing because of some political meaning. They're playing because it's fun, shooting robots and bugs. And I'm gonna be honest, it's fucking fun to just flamethrower those motherfuckers to death. Or orbital strike them, orbital laser. Or throwing a gigantic freaking bomb. 500 bomb, if you know what I mean. 500 ton bomb. You know what I mean. Freaking machine gun. Perfect. And I don't care about LGBT stuff or something like that. And what I personally actually did see is that the Helldivers community is way less toxic than any other community I was in. And I'm playing also with a few friends of mine, Smite, sometimes. Toxic as fuck. The game isn't even freaking 2 minutes in, and the people are like, nah, let's stop, it's just it has no meaning and blah 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 blah. Or some ape just starts being toxic as fuck. It's disgusting. But hey, it is what it is.
You simply take a firm stance and say, no, not here. This is a third-person shooter action video game. We are going to literally accept as broad a constituency as you want. You're trans and want to play our game? Go on. You're right-wing and want to play our game? Go on. Conservative, left-wing, Antifa? We don't care. Because we are a video game.
Yes.
It's a genuinely laudable position. Now, of course, again, I sympathize significantly more with this position than I do the other one, because this is absolutely subversive. I've talked about this on multiple occasions. Even if it's entirely possible, the guy in question here has no understanding of this. In fact, the majority of these people are probably, honestly, relatively well-intentioned. They're looking at the game and it's like, my friend got banned for asking for this? Isn't that a little bit extreme? I mean, it's just one cape, right? Fair enough. And if it ever stopped at one cape, I wouldn't even have a problem with it either. But it never does. Because of this. This is why you cannot have one cape. Because the moment you do, people will see it as an affirmation of their political beliefs. The accounts are already there, chasing clout in the name of the game, attempting to push a political philosophy and opinion. That is what they're already doing. Like this Helldivers alert, like, oh, I'm a super fan of this video game. I don't quite understand what it's satirizing or the humor in it, but I am totally a fan. Maybe he is, maybe he's just a moron. It's entirely possible. But the entire ideology is designed to be subvertive. I've read enough of the original philosophers now to recognize that very fact. And so yes, even giving them the pinky finger will only result in further demands. It is quite literally inevitable.
Yes, and as a game dev, if for some effing reason, some game dev is hearing me, old little guy, you can't do it. You cannot do it. Just, if you have people like this, and it doesn't matter which side they are on, it only matters that they are on a side. Just, I think, ignore them. Do the same exact thing as those devs do. Because they are doing exactly the thing they should. They just say, no, F you, we're focusing on fun.
But, at the same time, you are also going to need to deal with a rising counterbalance to this, which has realized what I just mentioned, that this is subversive and must be stopped at the beginning. And hey, this might even be an acceptable conversation in a closed vacuum, right? Somebody says, hey, can I have this? Somebody goes, no, I think that's bringing the ideology, can we not? And I, again, sympathize primarily with this post because he has the best point. But if you are a third-party developer, the easiest and by far the most effective way to deal with this is to simply say, no. You don't get to talk about it. You don't get to discuss it. We are enforcing the 100% politic-free zone. So, and as long as they keep to this, as long as they keep to keeping their game entirely neutral, not adding in any right-wing symbols, no left-wing symbols, nothing whatsoever, I am completely satisfied with this approach. In fact, I think it might be the ideal one. So, do let me know what you think down in the comment section below as well. Do you approve of this, or do you suspect that there might be concessions made in the future? I am personally worried about that because this is probably eventually going to grow into a larger story. We'll wait and see. At the moment, I think Helldivers 2 has the sheer influential clout as the game of the moment to ride it out. I don't even think most of the gaming outlets will want to target it right now, because if they alienate the Helldivers fans, which they are currently trying to farm for clicks as hard as they possibly can, then they will lose a great deal of revenue. And seeing as the various gaming websites are currently crashing and burning at a frankly heartening speed.
Yeah, so that's basically the truth of it, but yeah, I'm gonna agree 100% of it. Helldivers is just fun. This is the game is fun, that's all. And this is something that I personally just miss in games. Everything has to be somewhat political, do this, bah. No, it's just fun. Just have some fun in this freaking world before you step out and just and bite the dust. Is that really so hard to understand? But there's always actually people that actually just want their peace. They have to fight for it all the time, because there exist people like this that actually just want everything to be political for some reason. But as it is, acolytes, good night.